Well, here's Dad's tutorial on how to use the snowblower. First thing you have to do is carefully move it out. Now this is a case where you might want to have a little bit more room between the cars, but it's usually pretty easy. So here's the first thing you have to know. Here's the handle. You see these levers? There's one on each side. What you have to do is when you move it manually, you pull up on both of these and then walk the snowblower back very carefully. So pull up on both handles, grab with both hands, and pull the snowblower back carefully. Now, if you're snowblowing, that means there's snow. So what I usually do is turn it around inside the garage because it'll be snow outside there, and position it like this. Next thing we're going to do is plug it in. Over here, I've got a yellow cord. See, it's plugged in. And what you do is you just take the cord, bring it over to the snowblower, and you'll see right there it plugs in like a regular plug, just like that. The next thing you have to be aware of is the choke and the throttle. This red thing here is the key, so just always leave that in. Here's the choke. This is in the run position, and when you start it, you turn it over to this position. Now you might have to play with it a little bit depending on how cold it is. I usually turn either all the way or almost all the way. All the way or almost all the way. Here's the throttle. It's a little metal lever. See the stop position? When it's all the way down, it's stopped. When it's all the way up, it's in the fast position. So you can see it there. There used to be a little metal tip on it, but the tip broke off. So when I start it, I don't put it, shut it off in this position. I turn it all the way and then move it down just a little bit. And now it's ready to start, almost. Next thing you have to do is prime it. You can see the little red button here. A couple times, push it 2 or 3 times. Don't do it too much though or you'll flood it. Then all you do is hold this button to start it. Now when it starts, I can't talk over it, but when it starts, what you'll have to do is once it starts running, it's going to be pretty rough when it starts running, but as it starts to run and gets sort of running on its own, you just move the choke over to the left gradually. And if the engine starts to die, when you do that, just move it back to where it was. Just means it's not ready for to have the choke turned off yet. Now a couple things about the operation. It's got the chute there for the snow, and you can adjust the chute. You press this button and move it, press it, unlocks it, and you can move it to the left. Press it again, move it to the right. You can move it any direction you want. Also, it's tilted up. See, if you tilt it down, it's easy if I turn it sideways. It's tilted up, and you just pull it forward, tilts it down. So this way, now, what you want to do is you want to be aware of which way the wind is blowing. And you don't want to blow the snow into the wind. You want the wind to help blow the snow where you want it to go. The next thing to be aware of is the speed control. See, it's got 2 reverse gears and this many 6 forward gears. So the heavier the snow, the slower the speed, or the more comfortable you are, the less comfortable you are, you want to go at the slower speed. You'll get the hang of it. So you just this level, it's kind of spring loaded, and you put it on the speed that you want it. That's fast speed, slow speed, and then reverse, which I rarely use reverse, but you may need to use it. So you just kind of push it off to the side and then let it catch on the speed that you want. The next thing to know is on the left hand side you have the auger control. So when it's up, it's stopped, and when it's down, you go. So when it's running, you push down on this and you hold it when you want to go. And when you hold it down, that makes the blades in the front turn so that you can blow the snow. When you want to stop blowing snow, you just let up on it. Hold down on it. Now these handles are heated, so they'll help you when it gets, if it's really cold. And here, they're also talking about the left trigger control, so to turn it, and I'll show you this when you're going, you just flip one side or the other. When we did this before to pull it out, you pull out both at the same time. But if you want to turn left or right, you use this. So this is for turning left. You want to turn left? And what it does is it releases the wheels, and then the other wheel drives. So this releases the wheel is what it does. And if you want to turn right, here's the right turn control. You release the right wheel and leave the left wheel driving, and it will turn to the right. Now on the right is the drive control. So it's not going to go anywhere when you first start it, no matter what gear you have it in. The drive control. So when you're ready to start going, first thing you'll do is hold the left lever down to get the auger going, and then you put your other hand and push this down, and then and it will start to go. And then you've got your turning lever here for turning right and turning left. You need to watch out at the end of the driveway where it tends to get soupy. If it's soupy, you want to try to avoid that area because the auger will clog. And when that clogs, it's not going to blow any snow at all. And you'll know right away when it's clogged. This will fill up with ice and slush. But when it does, that little tool here, this little black thing here, comes off. Of course, you don't do this when it's running. You shut it off. If it gets clogged, you shut it off. You take this little tool out, and you use it to push the ice or dig it out, and push it down to get it out of the way. And you might have to go here and clear it out as well. Depends on how clogged it gets. And when you're done with the tool, just press it back in place and it clips. Now when you start it and it's running and you're ready to go, make sure you unplug it. Just leave the cord out of the way, and then when you unplug it, with your left hand, you push the auger control down. Make sure you're on the speed that you want to go. Make sure your chute is pointed in the right direction. And then with your right hand, you push down on this and it will start to go. And again, we'll hold it down and you pull this little trigger on the bottom if you want to turn right. And you pull this little trigger on the left if you want to turn left. Again, what that does is it releases the wheel. Okay, good luck everybody. Oh, to fill it up, of course there's the gas tank. It's best to fill it up inside the garage because if it's snowing you don't really want water in the gas tank. So I will fill the tank up before I go, so you shouldn't really have to do that.